These people help these people. Just go to your neighbor. We all neighbors now. Go over there with some Lowry seasoning. Go over there with some lemon pepper sauce. Go on over there and help them out. All right? Don't be like that. Because when the world opens up, these people should help these people. We help you now, you help us later. Think about it. A lot of us right now, you just filed your taxes. You finna get a stimulus check. Oh my gosh, you're doing wonderful right now. You know, these people have bought up all the shrimp and crab legs that normally these people buy. Help us out. Do not spend all your money. My people, my new friends, don't buy up all the crab legs and shrimp and stuff you can't even pronounce. Scallops. You can't even pronounce it. You shouldn't be buying it trying to cook scallops.
You try to check it down. That moment. That moment that it all changed. The moment that you forgot to wake up.
David, we have all changed. Me, your brother, it's you that's the same. You had to do a lot of growing up quick. But you got a chance here to see that the world has changed.
Can't go back. You can't ever do it over.
All right. What's going on, y'all? We had to hit y'all off with some of this talent first before we made our appearance. What's going on, Tyke?
Hey, what's up, big man? What's happening with you, brother?
Oh, man, nothing much, man. I'm doing good, man. Good to be alive and kicking here on a Sunday evening. What's going on? Y'all come on in. How you doing, Maria?
Hey, what up, Miss Green? How you doing? Hey, come on in, man. Hey, excited and motivated right now. You're tuned in to Acting Funny. Actor Essex O'Brien, along with a comedian, stand-up comedian, and co-host, television host, Tyke Mike. I got to throw that in there now. Television host, Tyke Mike. Hey, man, I love and appreciate it. We are on this side of the dirt, so we are able to say thank you and to be grateful and blessed, man. Of course, some great topics today. But let's start off, man. How did your weekend go?
Weekend went pretty good, man. Started off, well, I guess went into the weekend continuing to have a lot of auditions for myself as well as some of my students that I tape for. And then this weekend had a little business meeting, got some other projects that are potentially in the works. So that was fun. Got to check out the tail end of the fights at UFC last night. Saw that boy Usman knock off Masvidal, knock that boy head all the way around his neck.
Wow.
I just got some rest this morning and afternoon. What about yourself, man?
Hey, man, I went to a birthday party over the weekend. One of the good friends of mine, man, turned, I called it 83 and 79. I said about a million different ages. Good buddy of ours, Earl Holmes, former coach of FAMU. Yeah, former coach of FAMU, Hall of Famer at Florida A&M. So good friend of mine, man. Just wanted to say hello. Very small amount of people, just kind of hanging out at his house and relaxing. I realized this. I'm not as young as I used to be, dog. I can't.
Oh, you just realized that? You just got
man. If I had to force myself, I could party for 2 days. I'm good for like 1 day. Now, dog, I'm good for a strong 4 hours, and that's it. And that's not even like drinking heavy or anything like that. That's just like relaxing and having fun and mingling.
Yeah.
I was in the pool. We played volleyball, and women always cheat at volleyball. Ladies, I would say that when it's men against the women find some kind of way to cheat. Those women were on the shallow end of the pool, and we had to tread water the whole time, like some type of water acrobat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
where y'all
synchronized swimmer. But it was a good time, man. Fun was had by all.
Yeah.
But I'm excited, man, to get back to it. I mean, it's such a great week. So many things coming up in the month of May
Yeah.
for the both of us, man.
Yeah.
But I want to just commend you on David Makes Man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, man. So
Congratulations.
yeah, we were actually shocked to see the announcement because typically the turnaround for a show like that takes a lot longer from the time that they wrap to when they actually premiere the show. So the show just wrapped here in Florida in March. And so now when we saw the announcement that they're going to start beginning season 2 on June 22nd, that's a quick turnaround. So that tells us that there was a lot of success from season 1, a lot of anticipation for season 2. So they went ahead, they must have hired some extra editors and some extra producers or whatever. They wanted to get that thing out to y'all quick. HBO Max is now in the play because before it was just exclusively on OWN. Now it's going to be on OWN and HBO Max. So that is a bigger deal because that reaches more homes, reaches more people. So that's a big deal for that show. So yeah, it's exciting. I have a role in it, as you all probably ascertained. I got a little history with that show. I'll probably go into that in later shows, and we'll talk more deeply about it. But yeah. So that's exciting.
That's good, man.
So yeah. So that's kind of where this topic that I had in mind came from, man. With just the funny things that go on behind the scenes that people don't know about it, the ups and downs of things that we deal with and go through because sometimes you're dealing with a large studio like that with David McMahon. Other times we're dealing with people who are independent. You know what I mean? So I know you got stories, I got stories. So we can just go ahead and hit them off with that.
Definitely. Definitely, man. I want to just, there we go. I want to just say this. I knew this phone was going to do this, but I got you. I'm back. I want to say this. I hit the thing on the bottom of the floor. Being an independent guy, with you have agents and managers. With me, I'm an independent guy. Yeah. So I use just like a lawyer. If I need some paperwork looked at, I use a lawyer or someone with the knowledge of it in entertainment. So our paths are similar but different. I chose to go my way because you make more money. You don't have to pay us, 10% here and 15% there and 20%. But I have more headache.
Right.
So I think that's what people, and I think it's a perfect contrast. I'll get more reward in the end, but I'll have had the headache and the stress. And if I had to do it over again, and it's not over for me, I think I would just get some type of management. I figure out how to get the management. But then you fall into, on my end, on the comedy end, you fall into the game. You know what I'm saying? And now, are you getting your money's worth? You're getting the exposure, but are you getting your money's worth? And then you're inside the system.
Yeah.
For actors, is that the same? Can you be more independent, or do you have to have representation to make it, or how does it work for actors?
Right. Well, a lot of times you're kind of juggling both. So when you're working your way up as an actor, it's exclusively independent. You're hustling to build your credibility. You're building your reputation. You're also building your reel just by doing projects on the independent. We also call it non-union circuit. So, and I'm not going to belabor the points on that, but basically, as an actor, people will hit you up, whether you got an agent or not, they'll hit you up and come to you with certain projects because you know how it is. People see what you're doing. They see you have some credibility. You have a good reputation. People will hit you up. So I was talking to our friend Jason the other day about dealing with us in particular on the independent side. When you're talking about people who they have a script or they have an idea and they want to get the film made. And when it comes to getting a film or a TV show made, it's so many different working parts. You got to get crew, you got to get equipment, you got to get locations, you got to get a bunch of things. And when you don't do that in order, things will fall apart so quickly. So some of my horror stories are being independent. I was the cast as a lead for a show that was supposed to shoot in Atlanta. I was attached to it for like 4 years. When it first happened, I was going back and forth to Atlanta. We was doing rehearsals, and the guy who had built out the cast and everything like that. 1 minute he was doing like fundraising and doing raffles and stuff like that, building it up. Then he said he bought a church that they was going to shoot at, And then the brother disappeared for 3 years. He disappeared for 3 years off the face of the earth. And we didn't hear anything. So that's, red flag number one. But then it came back around. He came back, he contacted everybody, recasted some people, had other people involved. But when it came time to put pen to paper with the contract, and I had I did at this time, when I first got involved, I didn't have an agent. This time I had an agent. So I let my agent look at the contract. And, agent gonna look out for you, ask for this, ask for that, put this in the contract. Soon as I asked for that, brother disappeared again. I hear from him for like a month. And then
shady business.
And then come to find out, the next time I heard from him, he wanted me to do a different role, a much smaller role, but he didn't want to pay me what he was going to offer me in the first place. So what it was he didn't have all his ducks in a row. He didn't have what he said he was going to have in the first place. So it all kind of fell apart with that, man. And it just when it comes to the actor side, you have to be very, very careful who you put your trust in, who you put your time in, because a lot of times people, they're kind of faking it till they make it. They want to fake it till they make it, rob Peter to pay Paul. And a lot of times they rob you of your time, they rob you of your energy and stuff like that. So for me, I've learned to be a lot more careful about things like that. And I won't hesitate anymore. Now that I have gotten to the point where I have representation, I let my refs do their job, man. You know what I mean? I know what you're saying about it being more profitable, but sometimes you need that extra set of eyes to help save you some time and some energy, because your time and your energy is the most precious thing, man. It's more precious than that 10%, 15% that they might get. So for me on the acting side, I've learned that lesson the hard way. I got some other stories, but I'm gonna hand it over to you. I know you got some stories too.
Hey man, it's similar to you, but different. With stand-up, a lot of times, if you're not in the comedy clubs, you're working for other comedians who may have what's called a room, which is something that they turned into a comedy night at a bar or a comedy night at a restaurant, or even they might rent their own banquet hall or things like that, just because they know they can get people to come. They got a following. And what you deal with, man, with other comedians, you know each other, so you're friends. So you're already trying to get the lowest price, but you're trying to give somebody their worth, make it worth their while. Yeah. So it's always something. But the fact that you have to deal with somebody that you know about the money. Money is always the issue. You won't get your rate or whatever. Like you say, you got a manager, there's no negotiation with that. Hey, this is Essex rated, that's what it is.
Right.
Versus comics, it's cutthroat, man, and we don't know how much money you're gonna make. You want to make sure you have the comedian's money. So you offer them an all-in package. Hey, this is paying for your hotel, this is paying for your travel and your performance. So now you got an all-in price, and you're trying to get a deposit of some sort off of that. And so that's always a wrestling match. Well, you want to get half, or we'll give you a third, or we'll give you something. You know what I'm saying? So once somebody put money, it's a code of honor. Once somebody put money in your hands, then your word got to be, I'm going to be there. They start promoting it, things like that. Yeah. A lot of times with people, they don't know how to deal with comedians because they've never done it. A lot of times comedy is newer to them, but they think it's a great addition to their event. And they still don't know what quite to pay. They think it's a $200 thing or a $300 thing. And then they end up lowballing you and disrespecting you because they know you as a friend. But I always look out, man. I always try to get a deposit. But the thing is, people will switch the contract up. People that won't read their own contract and don't know what they sign and what they're getting you to sign. And then you have to read them like, look, you agreed to do this. I'm not making you do this. And then it challenges your friendship. Yeah. At that point, because you've been networking and getting to know people, and people, I think you'd be great for my event. But they don't go and follow up on the business end and be as aggressive as they were trying to get you to perform and paying you your money. They don't realize, this is your sole source of income. You got to have your money, man. You need your stuff. And then you get people that take advantage of that. They have you there. I got a lady, and I had to explain to her, she wanted me to host and perform twice at the same event. So she wanted me to host the event, stop, do 10 minutes of comedy, introduce somebody else, come back and do 10 minutes more of comedy, and talk to me like I was reckless. I said, look, man, I'm going to either do one or the other. I'm not going to stop my comedy so y'all can do something else. Then I got to build a momentum. But that's an example of somebody who doesn't understand how comedy works. Yeah. It's momentum. Why would I stop and let somebody else do something crazy and just come back and calm the crowd back down and get them to listen again? Yeah. But ignorance, and I remember shouts out to my man, Don Miller. He had a t-shirt that said, ignorance bears its own burden. If you don't know, that's never an excuse. Not wanting to know is the problem.
Yeah.
You gotta want to know what the answers are. So in this business, man, I can't tell you I left on the table just by being a good guy. I'm sure you done projects just on faith. Yeah.
Yeah, because you want to support. You want to support people in your community because you want the support in return as well. So, but it's so hard, man, because when and the active side, when I commit time, that means I can't commit that to somebody else. So if something else comes through that's paying, but I've committed to you and then you do me wrong, I'm left holding the bag. And this is just a complete loss, man. There was another situation working with a lady out in Jacksonville. And it's all, like you say, they offer it to you. Like, I would respect you more if you came and said, look, I don't really have this. I don't have this. I could use your help. You know, if you can help me, then that's fine. But it's the presenting it that you have this and offering this, and I have no choice but to take you at your word. But then when it's time to put pen to paper or put cash in hand, now you got all these excuses. That's when I start to lose respect for people, because had you not said it, I wouldn't be holding you to it. It's totally different if you put your cards on the table and let me say yes or no right off the bat based off what you offer me. Because sometimes, like I said, especially when I was younger in the game, I would do stuff a lot of times for free because I was trying to build up my reel and my reputation and get as much exposure as I can. Now I can be a little more discerning. But when you're coming up, you can do these things because there's something in there for you. But people take advantage of it. So like situation where had a 3-episode thing that they wanted to shoot. The lady deferred payment, but what she told us was we would get paid before we shot the 3rd episode. And she told a bunch of other people that. So when it was come time to do it, and we shot them 2 episodes before you do 3, it's time for you to hold up your end of the bargain. I'm up and down the road to Jacksonville. I'm helping get cast and offering you assistance to produce and things like that. And yeah, I got it. But then, okay, when I hold your feet to the fire, you ain't got it. So now we got a problem. And then everything fell apart. And to this day, this happened like 2 or 3 years ago too. I had people in my inbox, Essex, what happened? Man, they wanted to put an APB out on that lady, man. She had so many people. She left people holding the bag and owing people money, man. So it's one of those things.
And I would tell the young actors and young comics, you come into the game, you won't make the top dollar coming into the game. But what you can do is negotiate. It's always a negotiation. I always set myself a price, and each year I raise my price $50, $75, each year regardless, just to make sure that I was comfortable. And I promised one of my parents, like, I left my job to do stand-up. So I want to make sure that I'm making enough money to support, at the time, my family, and now myself, of course, and my kids. But if it ain't making enough money, then it don't make sense for me to do like $200 shows. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather not do it. And I'll take you back to this, the Improv Comedy Club downtown Orlando. I remember when Little Duval, Roland Powell, was getting going. He might have been 7-8 years in, but he was a decent name. Yeah. So we was rotating the host, and we was each week, I think we made like $75. Me, Rod Z, a guy by the name of Genesis here in Orlando, maybe Jersey, and he came and they made him the host permanently for like 6 months.
Oh, okay.
And he came in and said, "I'm gonna do it for free." Right, but it didn't make sense to me at the time. I'm like, why would he come in and undercut us? And I was looking at it like, that's a terrible business move, bro. You done cut us out. But why? Yeah. And so what I had to stop and realize was this. It's about the frequency. Like, if you hear a record every time on the radio, even though in the beginning you might not like it, but after you hear it 37 times every day, you're like, oh, it's got to catch a little beat. You know what it is. You might not like the record, but you know what it is. So his move was to be frequent. His move was to be there every week for 6 months, which he accomplished. For 6 months, 6 weeks, however long it was. He accomplished it, and it didn't cost the comedy club nothing. And he was a bigger name than us. But what he did was build his following, which is what we was trying to do. He wouldn't allow us to host every week. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And we had to rotate. So what they was doing in essence was they knew that in our off weeks, we may not promote it, but whoever was there that night would push it.
Yeah.
So each week, somebody different was pushing it hard, developing an actual crowd. So it wasn't about the comedian; it was more about the crowd. But then they took the time to say, "Okay, we want Roland. He a bigger name. He gonna draw the people by himself," which is what his plan was, to gain the following.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in one instance, he helped himself, and in the same instance, he hurt us, but he taught us the game.
Wow.
Yeah. Exposure will do two things. It will expose you, and then also it'll take it, and it'll expose you.
Right.
So if you ain't,
right.
you know what I'm saying? If you're not ready, yeah. If you're not ready, the game will push you out. If you're ready, the game will elevate you. So exposure will expose you in the two different ways.
Yep. That's what's up, man.
There was a comment there I missed.
Oh no, just joining, chiming in. You have to know what furthers your career quality versus what you need money in hand for. And that's a good point. But sometimes as you're going along, like I say, you just don't know, man. You try to take people, take people on good faith and give people an opportunity to do right, especially when they have something that has potential. Like in both situations, the stories that these people had were good. If they would put it in the hands of true professionals, it could be talking about a different story. A lot of times we don't ask for help when we should, the help when we need it, because we want to keep everything all tight and close to the vest. And that sometimes you're juggling too much in the air and things fall apart and they get discouraged, and then you can't find people.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
that's very unfortunate. And then I've seen the game change people for the better. I've seen the game change people for the worse. I love entertainment and its industry, but it has changed over the years. It has become more open-minded, more what I call asexual. Like it don't matter what preference you have. There's people that do good work, no matter their sexual preference. They're still funny. They're still entertaining. Are they great actors or actresses? And a lot of times, that's the difference, man. Somebody was explaining that to me. I don't know where I was reading that. I think I was talking to somebody's manager. And he said, like, who cares? Nobody care what Beyonce wear every day in her everyday life. 10 years ago, you wouldn't have cared about that. But now with social media being so quick, now it's what is Beyonce wearing today? What about her hair? What about this? That's her personal life. Before you just cared about her music.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're caring about how she look, her brand, what kind of shoes she wearing, what kind of dress she got on. You know, it's more personal.
Yeah.
And really, how many times did we go to Michael Jackson, Never Land? but we heard about it. You know,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We knew about it. But that's still his personal thing. Prince now house becoming more of a museum. But he was more to himself. He was different, but he was cool. So now being a celebrity now entails so much more than it did in the past.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you're just joining us, y'all go ahead and chime on in. Like us, share us if you're on YouTube or Facebook. We appreciate your interactions and your comments. Just talking about some trade and war stories, you know what I'm saying, in the industry. But we go ahead and move on to our relationship topic. What you got on the relationship topic?
Oh man, this is a great one. We always talk about sex with the coworkers, or sleeping with somebody on the first date. How about this? And it's something that crossed my mind earlier in the week. It's having sex with your ex. Is that a good idea or a bad idea? Of course, you broke up for a reason, but it might not have been a sexual thing. Some people, yeah, he cheated on me or she cheated on me, but it could be other reasons. Y'all was at different points in your life. But is that ever a good idea? Like, will it restart the fire, or was it just sex? Is it just cool? What do you guys think? I know Essex is hard. It's because you're married and you can't really comment, brother.
I gotta go way back in the day.
Yeah, way back in the day. There you go. Long time ago. Long time ago. Long time ago. Long time ago.
Long time ago.
Long time. So say in college, pre-marriage.
Yeah.
Your wife, pre-dating your wife, when you had an ex. Is there something like a high school thing that you might have been like, you know what?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Because a lot of times, especially when I was, that young, I was really just, trying to get it in as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? So if they allowed me to go back,
Get your numbers up.
But I wasn't like gonna lie about it. Like if I wasn't trying to get back with you, I just tell you wouldn't want to get back with you. But a lot of times, like you say, the sex wasn't the reason you broke up. It was something that you both enjoyed. You had a chemistry, but could be distance, or you just, you're young, you move in different directions, so you want to try other things, but you both see each other is gonna be on and popping. So overall, looking back, is it a good idea? No, because you basically just prolonging and keeping the ties going. And I think both parties usually know that, but we're of the flesh and we want pleasure, so we do it. It seems like a good idea at the time, but it's really not in your best interest because once the relationship over, you need to clear yourself away for the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you know what? You make a great point, bro. And I guess because I've been single now a couple years, and then pre-married, before me, I was in my 30s, you know what I'm saying, late 20s. And you will do this. And it's not necessarily the man all the time. And I can't speak on all relationships. I just speak on heterosexual relationships. It's the woman. I think the lady calls us for the most 8 out of 10 times. I can't tell you how many calls I've got from exes. Like they comfortable with you. They want to make, hey, you know what? It's cool. I'm not seeing anybody. I just need to knock the edge off or whatever. The problem is not that night. It's not the action. It's the next day. It's the day after. Is it still something there?
Right.
No, it was just a situation. It was a night. We both was drinking too much. Whatever. Class reunions, happy hours, things like that. Y'all maybe at a mutual friends party or celebration. And you see, because that's how you met. You met through some friends or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you met through some people at church or whatever. And you see those people and they still friends with them.
Yeah.
And
that's why I think your next woman don't never want you to be friends with your ex because they know exactly what that is about. And the ex they get that familiarity with you. They like that, and they want to keep their body count down. But then the woman that you with, and you start talking about, oh, yes, my ex, we still friends. She always getting you the side eye, like, okay, what you still friends with her for? You broke up for a reason. What you still smashing your ex? You know what I'm saying? Like they know exactly. Probably because they themselves, you know what I'm saying, creep back in with the ex or whatever. So they always questioning that ex relationship.
But you know what, man? If you think about it, we all start out as friends. So y'all was friends before y'all dated, and then y'all was friends while you dated, and then it became more of a love interest type thing. So there's always going to be a bond. And then the good thing is, I'll tell the new people, the new couple worried about the ex. I'll tell you this, as not the relationship guru, but the relationship hoo-hoo. I will tell y'all this. A lot of times people outgrow people. They was good for that point in their life. From age 30 to 35, that's the type of man she might have dated. Now at 35 and above, 35, 40, 45, she's looking for something different. She may be looking for stability. She may just be looking for companionship. But for whatever reason, she's looking for something different as far as love interest in her life. You got to figure out what that lady wants or what that man wants. Heterosexual friends. I have to stipulate that now. Somebody told me I need to differentiate. I can't speak for all couples. I know I'm just trying to be politically correct. So it's affecting me. I don't want to speak on behalf of anybody else. But I think for that time in your life, that person was right. And think about this. Stop bad mouthing your ex. Me and somebody had this conversation the other day too. Because your ex at one point was your choice.
Right.
Something you thought was going to work. Something you did, you took the time and actually called it a relationship. So for you to now badmouth them speaks volumes of you. Yeah. It's something I had to learn to do, bro. And I had to, man, I'd be like, you know what? This ain't all her fault or all this other person's fault or whatever. I had to realize that, it's some fault on my end too. I gotta add it ain't all my fault or all their fault, but it's no need to speak ill will of anybody that you used to date because at one point that was your choice.
Yeah.
But they say sex with the ex is the shit now. I ain't gonna lie. Go and put it out there. Some of them know what you want. You may have changed. You may have become, a little more aggressive or a little less aggressive. Or learn a couple more tricks.
I do hear from time to time about people actually getting back with ex, or like people get divorced and remarry. I think that's few and far between though, but they say it do happen.
I know 3 people that married the same person twice.
Wow.
It's an old school thing. They all older gentlemen.
Yeah.
But you married. Hey, I want to get my family back together. Or hey, I wasn't the right person at that particular time in your life. Now I'm a better man. And now I'm a better lady. I'm a better woman.
Yeah.
So it can happen. Love is love, man. You got to catch it where it falls. If that's your thing, you know what I'm saying? With me, I had a friend tell me the other day, "Oh, you gonna get married again, man? You just out here dating now. You just having fun now, but you'll be married again." Like, bro, that sounds great. And I know that's what you want to tell yourself, but I am so focused and driven on what I'm doing right now. Like, it's unfortunate, but I'm focused, bro, and I can't. Yeah. I wouldn't do that to nobody until I capture my goals right quick. I wouldn't do that to nobody, man. Now, yeah, but you got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah,
you got to be honest with yourself. We all need some type of companionship. Now, don't get me wrong, but I had to learn, and I hope our listeners listen to this and that y'all do this, to compartmentalize my life. The kids, the job, the personal space, all that stuff's got to be in a box that you can kind of go into, and it's got to be kind of even for everything to work. The minute you put too much emphasis on one thing, it'll be great, but you'll drop in other parts of your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Man. Good stuff. Good stuff. What you got coming up this week? Or
hey, man, good. Definitely back to work, man. Afrotainment Studios, back to work, man. The Lowdown with James Young, Monday through Thursday. We just coming back, so it'll probably be a couple of days before we get back on air. And then a couple of weeks, we're going to be, I'm sure, taping the 30-minute comedy specials. And then we'll get back to Funny Not Famous, one of the hottest TV shows in the country right now. And I'm proud to be a part of it, man. Proud to be a producer, and I warm up the crowd. I do whatever I can do to help to make it work. So I'm excited about it, man. Just to go back with my coworkers. And we had a couple of weeks off. And now we back to work, a little uninvited vacation, but we got it.
That's right.
Yeah, man. So what you got going?
This week is a good week coming up. My son's birthday is April 29th. So that's right during the middle of the week. So we'll be celebrating his birthday on the weekend. And he also got some basketball tournament going on. I got I post the poster here for you all. Film that I'm in, Painkiller, is coming out on May 4th. You can get it on Amazon Prime, and it'll be on sale through DVD at all your Walmarts and your Targets and all that good stuff there. So the little role I got in there, I ain't gonna spoil it for you. I ain't gonna tell you if I live or die. You got to got to go and find out for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So May 4th is the date, y'all. I'll be posting it on my personal social media, so y'all make sure y'all support, and we appreciate you. So yeah, birthday, got the movies coming out, and more of the same, man. Hopefully have more good news for you next week, guys. A great show coming up for you. Our good friend Carlos Smith, who is a writer, director, editor. He edited our skit that so many of you loved and enjoyed a couple of times. He's gonna be on the show next week, and we're gonna be back at it, man. Good stuff.
Absolutely, man. I can't wait, brother. I can't wait. Good times. A lot of good stuff. I'm waiting till next week, though. A lot of good stuff coming up in May. I won't prolong the hour, as the pastor say. I won't prolong the hour. But hey, we appreciate you guys. Thanks so much, man, for tuning in on YouTube and Facebook, keeping our show hot. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, sir. We out.
See y'all later.